Hi, Larissa. This is Max Clausen with Metro Brokers. Thanks for sending me that email, letting me know that you're interested in selling your father's home in his settlement of his estate. Uh, I just wanted to give you an update. I sent your brother a video about 60 days ago, and I assume that he sent it on to you. I didn't have your contact information. Uh, but I just wanted to give you an update of what's been going on in the Pinery. So, to refresh your memory, I go into public records, I find out about your property at 8005 Lakeshore, and then I go into the MLS system, like I am right here, and I pull up comparable homes. So, all of them are going to be in the Pinery of a certain size and bed bath configuration comparable to your parents' house. The Pinery is a very unique neighborhood. I've lived there for almost 20 years. Um, and, it's not like Highlands Ranch or Stroh Ranch or Clark Farms, Stonegate, where I can go in and pull up the Richmond model that's the Aspen and find comparable sales, and they are exactly the same for the most part, except some of the finishes. So there's a little bit of uniqueness to the Pinery, as you know, and it takes a lot of study. So I'm not going to go too in depth into this. I've already sent you one video. I want to send you this update just to reassure you that I'm on top of things. But if you decided to list your home with me, I would have to spend several hours really analyzing the comps and figuring out what's going on. So I'm not going to call this a market analysis for your dad's property. I'm going to call this a neighborhood snapshot. This is just a snapshot of what's been going on in the Pinery for the last 30 days. So all of these are new sales, new actives, and under contracts, not like the ones that I sent 60 days ago. One thing that's very different is there's active properties. There weren't any active properties. So the market is changing a little bit. And let's look at the analysis. So I take this and I import it into my own spreadsheet. So I import the data from the MLS into my own spreadsheet so I can really analyze it a lot more efficiently, I feel. So currently in the Pinery, comparable home sales, we have four that are active, and this is how they compare with your house on Lakeshore. Very similar. Uh, it looks like, again, I talked about that before. Uh, looks like the basement in your father's home is unfinished. Average sale price, or let's say asking price, these could be pie in the sky numbers, and I think that they are to some degree. Similar in a lot of ways. They're a little bit larger in the total square footage, a little bit larger of a home. The days on the market, and if you remember, the last time I did this market analysis, there wasn't even this section. We had no active properties. Um, some of these have been on the market for more than a month. And in my estimation, they're not going to be getting their asking price. So there's a little bit of pie in the sky. The market, what happens, Larissa, is that when people have families, which the Pinery is really a family oriented community, and if they have children and they have the flexibility to move uh, at desire, their desire is usually to get the kids into school ready to uh, moved in and ready to go to school when school starts. So that being said, the majority of these people are under contract now because school starts so early. So there's still a little bit of flexibility there, but I can show you some graphs that will show you that the peak of the market year after year after year is right at the 4th of July. Um, so if we look at the under contract properties, and again comparing them to yours, these are a little bit more in line with the size of your house. And those that went under contract on average when they were asking. Now, again, this is asking price. The asking price is 513, 333. Let's call it 513. Um, that's what they were asking. We don't know what the final contract went under with. It could have gone for more. Uh, but if we look at the days on the market on these, they went quickly, and I doubt that there was much give in the price when they went under contract so quickly. So again, if we look at the average days on the market, let me do this. For these, it was 5. The under con the 3 houses that are currently under contract went under contract in 5 days on average, and then these have been on average for more than 3 weeks. So they're priced high, and that can hurt. And I can explain that more later. But in our dynamic market, people are looking at houses and expecting them to go under contract quickly. And if they see that a house has been on the market for 38 days or 32 days, some red flags start to come up. So anyway, these little red cells here are some anomalies that, if I was really crunching these numbers, there would be a lot of adjustments in these anomalies. But right now I just said, hey, this one doesn't have a basement, so I didn't put it into the average. And this one is in Misty Pines, which is that center area. You're probably familiar with that. And that's acreage. So they had a huge lot there. If we look at the solds, these are the numbers that really we should look at carefully, because these have sold. These are the real numbers that are recorded in public records with the county. And so these are the actual sale prices right here. And so if we compare them again to your father's home, if they're closer in line with those. The finished square feet is more on those, but it's because you don't have a finish in the basement. The total square feet of your father's home is larger, definitely larger, because of the basement size. But if we look at it, it's 516 is where these have sold. They went under contract in 14 days. And then these went under contract, or these actually sold at 516.5. These went under contract at 513, and they went under contract pretty quickly. These are languishing here to some degree. A couple of them definitely are. And they're in a different price point. They're at 572. So anyway, there's a lot of analysis that I do. I spend a lot of time looking at that. I sent you an email. By all means, if you would like to get a referral, I'm just sending you the latest person that I started working with. It was less than 3 weeks ago. A couple in the Pinery. Call them if you want to get a referral. I have a lot of clients that are a lot older that have become my friends, but I don't necessarily think that you need to talk to somebody that's a friend of mine. Call my latest client. Anyway, again, I've been in real estate for 20 years. I've lived in the Pinery for 20 years. I have worked in Remax for the majority of that time, but I've recently left Remax and went to Metro Brokers. One of the things that I've changed in my business, and my business has evolved to, is a flat fee of $4,980, $4,980. And so that's very different from the old model of when I was working at Remax. I just feel that selling a house takes a certain amount of tasks and a certain amount of work, and it doesn't really matter what the price is. So if it's $1 million house in the Timbers or a $500,000 house in the Pinery, a $500,000 house doesn't take half as much work to sell as $1 million house, or vice versa. So I've come up with the 4980. I feel like it's a very value driven price point, and I can assure you that you will be getting the highest quality service. So it's a reduced price, but not a reduced service. So anyway, take a look at this. I'm not going to go through all of the point by point condition and photos and comparing each comp. I will do that if you decide to use me for your realtor. So, anyway, give me a call, 303 726 0867. 303 726 0867, or you can use that as a text also.